Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we're on Season 2, Episode 20, titled Scars. Last time, we had Episode 19, which comes before 20. Yes, anyone who knows how to count knows that. Episode 19, which was The Dirty Half Dozen. We had The Dirty Half Dozen, and honestly, it is the most conflicted I've felt during an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's the most conflicted I've ever felt. We had the old team back together, and given everything that's gone down between now and I'd say episode 11 or 12 of last season, given everything that's gone down between now and then, it's a very, very different atmosphere, very, very different kind of story now that's unfolding. It's a very, very different tone overall, so seeing it now compared to then, just having gone through all of that stuff and now seeing it now is just, it's a really well executed kind of difference. I think a really well executed difference. Like if you actually saw it, and if you skipped everything else after episode 10 and jumped straight to episode 19 in season 2, your mind would be blown by how different things are. Like that much shit has gone down. But yeah, we had the old team back together. They were infiltrating a Hydra base in the Arctic run by Dr. List from Age of Ultron. And fun fact about Age of Ultron, it's officially begun. At least, the way the last episode ended, we saw that, Age of Ultron is pretty much on the horizon, and Coulson sent Maria Hill all the details on Loki's scepter and where it is, and we know that's in Sokovia, and he said, time to bring in the Avengers. So, for those who stuck around for the post-credits of my reaction to the last episode, you'd see that I also reacted to the opening of Age of Ultron, which I thought would be a nice little tidbit. But for those of you who don't have that kind of patience, then now you know, so you can go back and watch it. And that'll be fun to see. But yeah, no, we had Age of Ultron happening, and Raina was envisioning stuff. Raina was envisioning stuff happening from Age of Ultron. She saw the scepter in her mind, and she saw men made of metal tearing cities apart. So Ultron's uprisal, she saw that. They didn't tear cities. They tore Sokovia apart, but not more than Sokovia. The Avengers, stopped it before anything got too big. But yeah, we had all of that, and Theta Protocol, that's time. I thought it was the Avenger. I thought bringing the Avengers in was the Theta Protocol. I thought that's what it was, but I've been informed, not quite it. The Theta Protocol is something entirely different, or at least related in some fashion to Age of Ultron. So I don't know if we're going to see the Battle of Sokovia in this episode, if we're going to see, how in Season 1 we saw the footage of the Helicarrier crashing into the Triskelion from Winter Soldier. I don't know if we're going to have that kind of visual tie-in, or if this is going to be something else, but either way, that's not what Theta Protocol is. Something else that we'll find out in this episode, so I'm very, very intrigued to see what that is. But yeah, we had that. We had Gemma killed Bakshi. She tried to kill Ward. She took a splinter bomb from the base, from the playground, specifically to kill Ward, and then Bakshi intervened, and Ward expressed his disappointment that Gemma would try and go down that path and stuff, so yeah, I mean, there was very little questioning. Because of the fact that there was very little questioning as to what happened to Bakshi, I'm highly doubtful that it's going to have any major impact on Gemma whatsoever. Like, he's not really, she didn't even mean to get him. He picked up the bomb, which made it then detonate in his hands, and it disintegrated him. So had he not picked it up, I don't know, if it probably wouldn't disintegrate the floor, but it probably would just disintegrate itself. So he picked it up, and then he vanished right in front of her, so yeah, but then she still kind of made an attempted murder towards Ward. So had that gone through, then we'd be talking big story stuff for Gemma, but it didn't. So yeah, but we have the Enhanced back. We have Lincoln and Mike back. We have Mike back in our hands, and Sky's back too. Daisy's back. So yeah, Daisy. Oh, that one shot. Daisy had a beautiful one shot. She had a beautiful scene in the last episode. Just like a one shot with her, with her, not a stunt double, and she fractured her arm during that too. So I don't know what the backstory is to that, but she pulled through. She still pushed through, even after any injuries. She still pushed through, got the take completed, and that's what they included in the episode. So it was a very, very fun episode, very, very fun episode. So, but at the end of it, Ward left Kara. He decided that she deserved better than him, which I don't disagree with. But it's going to be hard to see her reeling in from that loss too, because she actually genuinely loved him. So yeah, I do hope she finds someone better. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. Gonzalez, he wants to keep all the enhanced people behind. He wants to keep all the enhanced people locked up, because that was the only reason he went forward with this plan. Because then he knows that he can keep an eye on the enhanced people, and there are other Inhumans out there. He might try and hatch a plan to catch them too. Like a really dark version of Pokemon. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But that is it. That is all I have from the last one. Fun stuff. And fun fact, if you are pledged to the channel's Patreon, you can see next week's reaction on early access using the link below this in the description of this video. You can see episode 21's reaction on early access before it comes out publicly next week. So, little fun fact there, a little fun tidbit. But yeah, if you are pledged to Patreon, then you have that kind of exclusive access to special stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. So episode 20, Scars. Let's go. Oh, he's got his own selection of lanyards. So he gets different lanyards. Call your sister. There's a female Koenig. There's a sister Koenig.
Hartley and Hunter keep drinking all of his beer.
Not surprised to hear that.
I miss Hartley. I miss my warrior princess.
No, it's a pretty good chance. I gotta tell you, it's not easy keeping something as big as a helicarrier.
Whoa, it's a helicarrier! Wait, the Theta Protocol is a helicarrier? What does that have to do with Age of Ultron?
Cleanup crews are hard at work in Sokovia.
Oh wait, no, yeah, they brought in a helicarrier to Sokovia. That's how they got everyone off the floating city.
I'm a company man.
Huh, okay.
But any part of the Hydra indoctrination that was affecting your actions is gone.
Ah.
Your own again.
See, they could have helped Bucky. You know, their combined power with Shuri. They could have helped
Honestly,
Bucky.
Your vision of the devastation in Sokovia has proved your value.
Did they try anything? They didn't have their own Theta Protocol, did
Have you had
they?
any more visions?
All
Like,
the
they couldn't
time.
have risked anything. They just knew about it.
It was a giant stone, but not a stone.
An Infinity
And
Stone.
suddenly,
Were there deep cavities carved into it?
Okay, not an Infinity Stone.
how did you know?
It's Kree. Dangerous.
A
Intended
Kree
to
weapon?
destroy our people.
Oh, so a Kree weapon designed to kill the Inhumans. Oh, they're on the aircraft carrier. They're on the Iliad.
It's here.
It's on the Iliad? They have a Kree weapon? Is that their cargo? They have the Kree weapon as their cargo.
I will personally rip out Raina's little tainted rat heart.
Whoa, cow.
Or not. Whatever you want.
Is that it? That's the stone. Oh. It's a sludge. It's almost like a sludge.
Its energy signatures are unlike anything we've seen before.
Does anyone have any idea what alien body came from, or what it even does?
Our ancient ancestors called themselves Inhumans, and we just want to be left alone.
We're already jumping into that
If they
Yeah,
wanna
already
be left
jumping into
alone,
that threshold.
Then why infiltrate? This man teleported on board, Sky. He's clearly very
Well, they didn't
dangerous.
kill
What
anyone.
about you, May? I heard about what happened to that little girl in Bahrain.
Oh no. Oh.
Jiaying told me the whole story.
Oh, she's going there.
Did you know that she was Inhuman?
Oh, she's going there.
So you, of all people, should understand why they'd want to keep their location a secret. What they're so afraid of.
Humans. Oh, that's a hard hit. It's a true hit, but it's a hard hit. It's a hard hit.
The teleporter left the cargo.
We were able to follow his signature.
You know when
Oh.
We do.
Oh, because of the photon tracking thing.
Pay our new friends a visit.
No, you. Oh god, this is exactly what Lincoln was afraid of.
What's our
This is
plan,
exactly
Michelle?
what they were afraid of.
What are you gonna do, Cal?
Oh, gee.
Without that concoction that you take, you're nothing.
Ugh.
What's in those vials anyway?
Oh,
Muscle milk?
it's like Tony's insult to Steve in Avengers all over again. Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
she'll listen.
How can you be sure?
Because she's her mother.
Because she's my mother.
I would never have shot you, but I should have stopped you.
I never lost control.
Sky is living proof that you did.
Oh, yeah. It all led back to the Kree temple, yeah.
Well, anyway, here you go.
Oh, so sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, she shakes.
Okay.
But you're not doing anything. That's why it's funny.
Time to go.
Hopefully nothing goes wrong. Hopefully people can remain under control.
I saw Quinjets raining fire on us. Afterlife in flames.
Wait, what?
That's the one, Jiaying.
No, that's why it starts. She can't be the one who talks to them.
Oh.
Jiaying can't meet with S.H.I.E.L.D.
If it's not.
Oh, she's gonna hold a
Jiaying,
grudge if it's
then
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, she knows.
Well, maybe it should be me.
Oh no, wait, no. Oh, what if Cal is right this one time? What if she really is lying? Oh, this could be the one vision she actually lies about. Yeah.
This is merely a precaution.
Raina.
Please, Mom.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
Call
you
her
were
mom.
with me on
Oh,
QJ36.
my heart.
We'll land a good
It's over
distance
here.
from their main
My
buildings
heart.
here.
They let one man do whatever he wanted, and the world was almost
They had
destroyed.
the Avengers had no idea about Ultron. Only Bruce knew.
We're better than that.
Gonzalez should go.
Oh, god damn it. He's gonna be the one who rains down hellfire on them. You know, even if she didn't have the vision, it's gonna be
I
true.
asked you to
As much as I like and respect you, sir, if you're the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't want any part in it.
Wow. That's... oh.
I'll go to the carrier, but it'll be to collect my things.
He's leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. as a whole. This is partly out of nowhere?
I'm sorry to lose you.
Oh, yeah, this is kind of out of nowhere. He's expressed these feelings before, but this leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, this is kind of out of nowhere. Jesus, Cal.
Oh, I'm sorry. That looked very old. Was it?
Cal,
Hey, if it's vintage, if it's a vintage table, he's sorry. Yeah, if it's a vintage table, he's sorry.
Trust them.
So many people diminish with age. But you're as bold as the day I met you.
It's pretty bold coming from the woman who literally never ages.
Took some digging, and I'd appreciate
The
a bit
insurance
more notice in the
policy?
future.
What's the insurance policy? What's in those boxes? What are you doing?
Copy that, Agent May.
What the hell are you gonna do?
Because it seems like you couldn't care less about what you did to me, Kara.
Wait. Oh, it's Kara. Oh. Huh. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Oh, damn. Yeah, oh, good thing you guys are on autopilot. Yeah, oh, that's a hard hit. Think she... Oh! Oh, it's Ward, no. Oh, with an Isa.
Lock in, touch
Yeah, she's with her, okay. Huh. Yeah, I figured we saw that scene, so I thought, you know, she had to be with them.
Something terrible is going to happen unless you do what I say.
So has she lied about the other visions?
You'll regret this.
Has she lied about any? Because we know her one about Sokovia was true. The telling the guy that his son would go through the mist, was that the lie?
I'm sure Mr.
Gonzalez, Robert.
Robert and I have much to discuss.
I don't like where this conversation is gonna go. Gonzalez, he's a firm kind of stance dude. I don't like where this conversation is gonna go.
I'm very grateful. I got a chance to know you.
Oh, jeez.
I'm glad I got to know you too.
Yeah, hitting me with those feels too. Hitting me with those feels.
Sky told me, I know that you were separated from your daughter. I thought that might belong to her. A traditional...
Oh, okay.
Off evil spirits.
A necklace. Or
I
a
never got a
bracelet or
chance to
something.
give it to her. I've lived enough life to see countless people profiled for their differences.
Oh, what's this? This is bigger.
It's amazing.
This is
how many
bigger.
generations.
We found these vials on him, ma'am.
What are these?
It's his formula. It's his formula. It's what gives him powers.
Us to do things, so we decided to make our own.
You made your own Terrigen crystal?
Discovery requires experimentation.
Oh, damn.
Eventually, we melted a diviner down and grew new crystals from it.
Ah.
And it's now laced within them.
Oh, so if you touch it, then you turn to
This
thingy. You
wasn't
turn
a
to
problem
stone.
for Inhumans, of course.
Whoa!
Let's hope you're one of us.
Jiaying! Oh no, he's turning to stone.
How dare you compare your scars to mine?
Oh,
Nothing like me, like
Jesus, Jiaying, no!
One call cut me to pieces.
Get everyone killed, you crazy.
Oh, she killed Gonzalez! Oh! Oh, making it look like a fight. Oh, Jiaying. Oh.
This is war.
This is war? No. Okay.
Closure's about so much more than that. It's about digging in, doing the work.
Ugh.
I'll show you what I mean.
Oh no, they've got Bobby. They have Bobby. Oh, even more ISIS. Oh, thank God that's an ISIS. Thank God that's an ISIS. I mean, can you overdose on that? Can you overdose on ISIS? I don't know. Jeez. Okay. Damn it. The ending of that episode took a much sharper turn than I ever would have imagined. I thought, okay, let's start from the top. So yeah, Theta Protocol was a helicarrier. That makes much more sense. Like Shield actually. So yes, that ties in directly more to the middle of Age of Ultron when Fury himself came in on that helicarrier when Scoville was floating, and he said, pull this out of some dust with a couple of old friends and stuff. So Coulson provided that helicarrier. He provided the helicarrier that actually helped, rescue civilians off of Sokovia. So that is very, very cool. That is a really, really cool way to tie it in. That's cool. I just imagine that scene playing back over in my head as well with the helicarrier soundtrack from the first movie. Like, such a cool scene. It's such a cool scene. But knowing now that the Shield, the agents of Shield were behind that, Coulson was behind it. They go that far. Coulson is what helps them rescue people from Ultron's disaster, and they still don't know it was him. They still don't know. I feel like the more I mention it, it's like, we're on the final season now in the present day, and it hasn't changed. So we might just have to live with them never knowing. But I don't know. Maybe there's a sneak peek coming that's just gonna swipe me off my feet. But we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, the helicarrier was the Theta Protocol. So yeah, they mentioned in that little previously thing right at the beginning, like he'd been moving resources and assets all over the globe. So I wonder what that was. I think the helicarrier is a big thing all on its own. It's got weapons, it's got room for people to work in. It's a big thing, and so like the assets he was moving over the globe. So I think he's still been working on other stuff that would allow him to build a team of enhanced people, like other people besides from the Avengers. So I wonder what that stuff is, if that's also still, because I think they still kind of describe that under the label that they said it all connects back to one key word, the Theta Protocol. So the helicarrier is clearly still just one aspect of it, and it's still there's other stuff involved that Coulson has under his sleeve, other tricks up his sleeve. So I'm curious as to if that really is the case, like if there's other stuff he can call in while labeling it the Theta Protocol, or if it's just a helicarrier right now. But we'll see. We will see. But that is cool. That alone is cool. That's really cool. But yeah, this episode did a fantastic job of showcasing the tensions between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans. And I think it's tension that comes from all different angles. But I think predominantly the S.H.I.E.L.D. Inhuman tension, I think that predominantly comes from the thing, like from May's Bahrain mission. Yeah, that mission from Bahrain. That one, I think, definitely probably takes the cake for them, because I think with her, she even said, she didn't really have a choice. It was either her or it was everyone else or the little girl. The little girl was the one with the powers. She was the one making everyone want to take the pain. So killing her, it was like, just phantom menacing all of them. Killing her would take out the rest too. So and in that moment as well, when you're faced with that kind of decision, it's incredibly hard. It's incredibly easy to be scared, anxiously indecisive. Like, you don't know whether you're gonna save everyone else from this curse, or if you're gonna go ahead and shoot a little girl to the point where it kills her. And I don't think children can survive any kind of gunshot wound, to be honest. But yeah, like, you either have either of those choices. Either you just let everyone else still fall under her curse, or you kill her and have it over and done with. But the fact that she was Inhuman too, like, that story was deeply personal to Jiaying too, and it led to two different kind of decisions for her to take as the leader of the Inhumans, as the leader of Afterlife. For one thing, not just anyone can go through Terrigenesis, because that mother stole those crystals against Jiaying's wishes and fled with her daughter and the crystals and put her daughter through the Terrigenesis. So, her doing that was what like just launched her daughter onto Shield's bad radar and gave them all of this attention. And luckily for them, they weren't known to be Inhumans then. Like, Shield had no idea who they were, just that they were enhanced people. That was it. That was all they knew. So they had no idea that they were Inhumans, where they came from, the origin of their powers. So despite all that had gone down, the Inhumans were safe for then. But then that experience had still taught Jiaying something that not just anyone can go through it. No one on the outside world can know the Inhumans exist, because this is what happens when people get let loose with their powers. When they try and take their powers for themselves, stuff can go wrong. Not that it will, but it can go wrong. So yeah, so that experience led to that, and then obviously May being the one who killed the little girl, May killing the girl and her mother, showed that this is what society's reaction to Inhumans, like to enhanced people, not just Inhumans. Inhumans are the unlucky ones in this case, and I think, think about it in that sense. It's very much it very much gives us the X-Men in a time where we couldn't yet receive the X-Men. The X-Men are unarguably the biggest kind of displays of metaphors for people versus people, minority groups versus people who don't understand them and fear them and retaliate with violence and stuff like that. So with the X-Men, it's they're commonly tied to being representations of the civil rights movements, the gay rights movements, all these different minority rights movements, and showing that they're just trying to live a peaceful life, and people that don't understand them end up fearing them, and then when they fear them, they start to attack them when things go wrong, and they get more and more afraid. So so with this one, I think it's definitely, and this is something I remember reading in the comments of a previous reaction as well. They are that kind of representation. The Inhumans, they have powers, and especially some of them are very, very physical. Some of them are very, very visual changes. With Raina, her skin changed to her eyes, and she has thorns growing out of her face. Anyone in society would be repulsed and horrified by what they see. They think she's some kind of freak or a monster. So the stuff that they go through, it isn't always easy, and sometimes they get the opposite of what they would wish for, and it takes them time to actually learn that the gifts that they've been given are actually gifts, and they can put them to some good use, even if they don't look like they're useful or good. Society has been society itself has been cultured to think that anything outside of the norm is something wrong or something bad or something to be feared and taken out, pretty much. So seeing it with this as well, seeing Shield, they're like the kind of extra normal police, pretty much. It's now it's their job to actually protect the world from the stuff that's out there, and to actually prevent extraterrestrial threats from going too far or from happening at all. Sometimes they can prevent them. Other times they can just stop them before they do too much damage, like Ultron or the Battle of New York. So seeing the tensions rising between Shield and the Inhumans in this one is, I think it's a very, very good kind of plot line to go down, a very, very interesting one. It's one where I think you can kind of see where they're both coming from. Because again, with Shield, it's that they face so many enhanced people, and it's always been a mixture for them. It's gone bad more times than they would like, and it's gone good. It hasn't. For them, it hasn't really gone as good as they would like. It hasn't gone good as much as they would like. The Avengers are a very, very few select group of mostly enhanced individuals, Barton and Hulk, but Barton and Romanoff, they're free of any enhancement. I think they're mostly free. I think Romanoff has some kind of de-aging serum, right? I think so. I think I've read it in the comics. She does have it, but I think it would make sense in the movies too. She has a de-aging serum that allows her to have more endurance and stay stronger for longer. So somewhat similar to Jiaying, but not entirely. But yeah, the Avengers are a select group of people, and even then, you see in this show, and even in Civil War, you see that they've made mistakes too. They've made mistakes. They've left behind collateral damage that leads people to think about, sure, they've saved us, but at what cost? What have we lost still in the process? Sure, nobody's perfect, but that's the whole point of Civil War. To show that powered people can't be left out of check. So with this one, Gonzalez, he would definitely be on the side of the Accords. I think, if given the opportunity, he would draw up a version of the Accords himself. If given the opportunity by Thunderbolt Ross, he would definitely go forth and could draw up a version of the Accords himself that would just be infinitely harsher than the ones Ross came up with. But with Gonzalez, he is our version of Ross. I think he is the version of Ross we get for the TV show. And Edward James Olmos, he's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job as Gonzalez. And he emphasized how, Coulson couldn't be a part of this too deeply because he was very, very subjective when it came to Sky. And even mentioning Stark and the Ultron threat too, him saying that, it happened because the Avengers just let one man do whatever he wanted. That's not entirely true. Bruce knew. Bruce and Stark, they came up with Veronica, the Hulkbuster. They came up with, I think it was called Veronica, right? It was the Hulkbuster, but I think they called it Veronica. They came up with that, and they came up with Ultron, and they put it on the side because there was no way for them to bring it to fruition. But then they get the Mind Stone through the scepter, and then that's what seeing that Jarvis analyzing it, saying it's code. That's what motivates Tony to bring it back up again, and then for them to actually, Tony himself gives a convincing argument, what if, we came up with this thing where, we could prevent threats before they even happen, pretty much. So, yeah, and in Ultron's defense, he spent 2 minutes on the internet and decided humanity needed to be eradicated. So whose fault is that really? I mean, 7 billion people on Earth, and the planet is in the state it's in now, so you can't really blame Ultron either, but not the strongest case, I know, but still. But but Bruce knew. Bruce was the only one who knew, and he was fairly, easily convinced. And, Tony's charismatic, he's a smart talker, he knows what he's talking about, he gives off that kind of energy, so you can't really blame him. But the rest of the Avengers had no idea until he showed up, and then the next day Tony explained to them what the Ultron project was, and that was when Ultron actually declared himself an official threat against the Avengers and against the world. So only Bruce knew. The Avengers didn't really know all that much, and I think it made it easier knowing that, he gave them everything. He gave them the Avengers Tower, he gave them a home, he, built all their weapons, their suits, everything that they got came from him. So, financially speaking, he was the leader of the Avengers, but, physically speaking and, motivationally speaking, if that's even a word, Cap was the other leader of the Avengers, but, all that stuff, all the stuff that goes wrong. I think he focuses on all the stuff that goes wrong because of powered people. He doesn't look at the good. I mean, I guess I get that it's hard because these are the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're human people. They're closer to the ground. They see what the Avengers leave behind after they're done with the big heroic battle and the one shots and everything else that makes regular people glee and look on in awe and stuff. But the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, they're left behind to clean it up. They see what the damage they leave behind, the people that are lost. So with that one, Gonzalez's objective view is actually, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's I think it's a very, very harsh objective view. It's very, very harsh. So I feel like he's not looking at it in terms of there are also people who are good, but it's also that he's painting them with one broad stroke. He's painting them with a broad brush and a broad stroke and everything. So he's he's kind of labeling them all under kind of monitoring requirements based on the actions of the few. So for that, I feel like he's being pretty unfair. And it gives Inhumans even more reasons to be afraid of humans, of regular humans, knowing that if they ever got discovered, the first thing that humanity would do is brand them and label them and try and figure out a way to put them under one neat little box that they can categorize and stuff. And instead of looking at them as people with gifts, they'd be you're a person with a gift. Well, other people with gifts have done equally bad shit for society, and they left behind nothing but damage and chaos and stuff. So how do we know you won't do the same? But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough thing. So yeah, I'd hate for them to actually have to run into Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. I mean, this being based after Sokovia, this being based after Age of Ultron kind of surprised me, but at the same time it didn't, because Age of Ultron, it doesn't last that long. It takes place over the course of a week at most. So seeing that, and obviously when this airs, the TV show, it comes out once a week. So seeing that happen kind of surprised me. It's revealed after all of it. So it's good that they actually opened up with the Theta Protocol reveal. But then afterwards, we flash back to the present, and Sokovia's been saved. Some died, but Sokovia is over. Age of Ultron is over. So it's a nice little tie back in. Mac wanted to leave S.H.I.E.L.D. Mac is leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. That surprised me. I mean, his reasons for doing so didn't surprise me, because these are feelings he's shared for a while. Him mentioning to Daisy, but imagine if a guy with alien blood was our director, was the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Imagine having a guy like that in charge, and all the alien crap that's happened. He's made his feelings on alien stuff very, very clear. He's made his feelings on that very clear. He's made it aware. He's made it clear that he's not comfortable with any of this stuff. He doesn't really think that someone like Coulson, who keeps so many secrets, should be in charge. But then him actively leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. is something I didn't see coming. I thought he'd literally just he'd probably just. I thought he'd leave them with an ultimatum, like either he leaves S.H.I.E.L.D. or he only stays within a S.H.I.E.L.D. under the leadership of Gonzalez, because Gonzalez is the one he's been working with for months. So I thought he'd leave them that ultimatum, like either I leave S.H.I.E.L.D. or I stay with S.H.I.E.L.D. that's led by Gonzalez and not you. So yeah, but even then, Coulson is still above his like way above Max, like security clearance, so he'd still be working under him in some level, but then Gonzalez would be the actual director, so he'd be the one that makes the final call. But Max left S.H.I.E.L.D., so he said he'd be going back to the Iliad only to collect his things. So yeah, so he didn't mention any of that to Bobby, he didn't mention it to May, not to anyone, not to Fitz, not to anyone else, so yeah, the only one he's actually mentioned this to is Coulson. That's why it strikes me like there was no sign of this. There was no sign of him wanting to leave S.H.I.E.L.D. as a whole. Like he never mentioned that to Bobby. He never mentioned that to anyone else. So him leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. he'd want to let the big boss himself know first. Like that much kind of makes sense. But then him, like there being no lead up to this whatsoever, I think if you think about his feelings more, then it starts to make more sense. Like if he really does distrust the system that Coulson runs this much, then it's a wonder he even stays if he knows that he doesn't trust it, if he knows that he doesn't enjoy working there. So it becomes a wonder that he even stays here. But then again, the fact that he never made that clear, the fact that he never made it clear that he's beginning to second guess his place within S.H.I.E.L.D., second guess his loyalty to S.H.I.E.L.D., his trust within S.H.I.E.L.D. within this new system. The fact that he never made that stuff clear is surprising. But I guess again, if you read between the lines of his feelings, it's like you start to wonder why does he still work with them then if he distrusts it so much? But yeah, then that's where the ultimatum theory comes in. But yeah, no, Mac has left. And no goodbye to Fitz. Fitz and Hunter were still back at the playground. They were still back at the base. So no mention to them. No goodbyes to them. So I guess we'll see in the next episode, because we didn't see him after that scene. So I guess we'll see him actually saying goodbye to them in the next episode. But yeah, it was just a weird surprise. But yeah, Mac leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, Jiaying. So she melted down. The rest of the diviners are all gone. The rest of the diviners are gone. They're in their possession, but they were melted down to create weapons, to create Terrigen crystal weapons. So it's crystals laced with the diviner metal. So you break them, the mist is released, but it also sends those little dust particles of the metal going out. The metal is what kills you. The metal, if you come into contact with that and you're not worthy, then that's what kills you. So it's an ingenious idea for a weapon. Like those crystals. I thought, her gift to him looked bigger than the one. Like he gave her a box, like insurance policies, and like Weaver had one on her too. Weaver had a box on her too. So I wonder what hers was. But the one on him was like an actual Chinese necklace that she had, that she meant to give to Daisy. But yeah, so she killed Gonzalez and framed it as an attack on her. Framed it as an attack that, he shot her twice and then she released it in self-defense. And now she declares war. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where they intend to take this, because it's such a brash move, and it's not going to end well. And Raina wasn't even there. I thought something like that could only happen with Raina in the room, but Raina was nowhere near that. I think Gordon told Jiaying about Raina, and that she was. I think he must have told her that she was lying or something, because they locked her away. I think. Yeah, they kept her in her room with someone to watch over her. But besides from that, I don't know if that could have been a ploy too. Because there was no proof that anything else that she said was a lie. Like with this one, the fact that she wanted to be the one to talk to them, because S.H.I.E.L.D. really doesn't trust Raina. S.H.I.E.L.D. really does not trust Raina. So the fact that she wanted to be the one to talk to them was what was suspicious. We saw that she told like a guy that his son would go through Terrigenesis and it would be successful and everything. So there was no sign that was a lie. Like there was no complaints from him that we saw. So there was no sign of any of her other visions. Like the two visions she's had, like, you know, the Age of Ultron stuff, Sky's family, like Daisy's family dinner, Lincoln and Lincoln being captured and all that other stuff going on. So all the stuff that she said so far has happened. So why this would be? I mean, again, it makes it. We didn't see this vision. We never saw this vision. We saw. And we never saw the one where she said, the one where she said that the sun would go through Terrigenesis. It makes more sense because I don't know if we need to see every little vision she has, but you know, and we never saw the Daisy's family dinner either. Like she only talked about that to Lincoln. We never saw that. So, but then that still went through. So we clearly don't need to see every little one. But then the final one that she has, she says that she's the one best suited to talk to Shield. And especially after Cal says to Jiaying, like, you know, oh, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't trust her, I don't trust her, she's not a very trustworthy person. Like, that's the one to maybe break the ice. Like, you know, oh, why would she advise against the leader herself talking to the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. and say that she should be the one to do it, like the one who can actually see stuff. So, yeah, and I feel especially, like the stuff that we've seen her see, the visions we've watched her see so far have been negative. Like, you know, like, the ones they've showed us have been negative. They've showed harm coming to characters, they've shown disasters and stuff happening, so we've seen that. So with this one, if she really did see an attack on Afterlife, if she really did see hellfire and stuff raining down from Quinjet, like, why didn't we see that then? Well, like, where's the proof for that? If it really is as disastrous as she says, like, you know, we should see a hint of it. Like in the last disaster we saw, technically, like with the Scepter, we saw that, you know, she would hint to them, to the Inhumans, about Ultron's thing. So what that led to, I don't know. Like, because we see that they didn't really have much influence within the Sokovia battle. We saw that they didn't really have any kind of input. They couldn't go out and do anything. They just knew about it. So what they could do, unless Gordon teleported in secretly and just saved a few people. I don't know how far his range actually started. If he can actually, you know, teleport onto a floating city and teleport back down again. I don't know if there were any Inhumans in Sokovia. But that would have been a cool thing to see. He could have saved Quicksilver, you know? If Raina saw Quicksilver dying, then he could have teleported in at the last second, but then Hawkeye would have died, yeah, because Quicksilver died saving Hawkeye, so I don't know that. Well, I mean, Hawkeye, I don't know. Hawkeye could have died. He could have died. I'm not really saying anything beyond that he could have died. But yeah, I don't know. Jiaying now is declaring war. Jiaying is declaring war upon S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's gonna be S.H.I.E.L.D. versus the Inhumans, and I don't know why she would do that. She was angry. I think she was angry. She was like, you know, how dare you compare your scars to mine? I think that was fair. I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I was like, that was fair. Like, okay, you lost the use of your legs, but you were alive the entire time. She was literally butchered to pieces by Whitehall for her gifts. He was alive the entire time. He was saved, and he had his bones relocated and everything. He was alive the entire time. The worst he got was a cane. Jiaying literally died and had to be pieced back together. Those are two very different scenarios. He was on the verge of death, of course, with the Hydra thing going on, but still, he didn't die. He was very much alive, and he was rescued by like a whole team, and he helped save the Iliad and stuff. But Jiaying, she was butchered and left to rot on the side of the road like an animal carcass. So it's two very different situations, and that one probably took the straw for her. That one was probably the last straw for her, like him comparing those scars with her scars, and then her knowing, based on what Cal told her about the Index and everything, you know, like she really would not want to have her people being branded and labeled as just gifted people. Like, they're so much more than their gifts and everything. So she likely wouldn't want that to happen to her or her people. But then her actually killing Gonzalez was what surprised me. Her killing Gonzalez, framing it as two shots. Like, when the truth about that comes out, it's not going to sit well with Daisy. It's the truth might come out, I mean, as her having murdered Gonzalez, and that's not going to sit well with S.H.I.E.L.D. It just doesn't help their position at all, and she declares war too, so she's going to take down S.H.I.E.L.D. even if it means taking herself down. Like, she put 2 shots in herself, so yeah, I don't know how this is going to go, but with that kind of stuff, I think, you know, Weaver and Calderon, if he's still alive, and the other dude with the beard and stuff, like, you know, they're going to immediately be on Gonzalez's side, you know. And when they find out Gonzalez is dead, it's going to change a lot. When they find out that he attacked her, and that he's dead now, it's going to change a lot. I mean, again, I think it depends on how good the self-defense case is for Jiaying, but I don't know how it's going to go down. But if it really is a war and the Inhumans are going to fight back, then Weaver and the bearded dude are going to, be more than happy to avenge Gonzalez and fight back against the Inhumans. So, yeah, and again, it's her word. Like, Gonzalez is dead now. It's her word against his, and especially since we don't know if she's disposed of his body. Like, his body was just sat in a chair. His hand was torn apart. His hand was torn apart. Yeah, his hand was torn apart. So it's going to be like, okay, so he was sitting down and he shot you, and then you broke the gun out of his hand. Really? So, like, why? Like, why would you need the gun after he shot you? Like, I think that stuff isn't going to make sense. I'm probably nitpicking, but again, I think that stuff isn't going to make a huge amount of sense. But I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, Ward and Kara were playing S.H.I.E.L.D. the entire time. They tricked them into thinking that Ward was leaving, when in reality, I think I was wondering because we saw that scene where Weaver and Gonzalez addressed May in the pilot seat, and then we cut to Bobby and May in the pilot seat. So I was wondering, like, wait, what? Should there not be people in the background there? Like, why is that an empty Quinjet? But it never crossed my mind that Kara would be with them. Never crossed my mind there. So she was pretending to be May the entire time. Yeah, so she now was able to replicate the perfect May. So she was with Ward still the entire time. That was their plan, just to fake a breakup, and then lead Bobby back to them. So they've taken Bobby prisoner. They've taken her prisoner. So now they're gonna get closure with her. I don't know what that could mean. Like, they're gonna torture her for info, if they're gonna torture her to death, if they're gonna try and kill her. But that's their plan. And you just overdosed her on ISIS. Just put like a good few ISIS bullets inside her. So now they have Bobby in their captivity. So now, and she didn't report back. She didn't report back. So that means that they're gonna get suspicious. They're gonna get worried if Bobby's plane shows her somewhere just randomly outside of Afterlife, and it shows that she's not responding. Then it's gonna be like, oh, something happened. But did they not know that she was with May, or that she was with someone else, with Kara? I don't know. Was she meant to be with them? I don't know. I'm so lost. My mind is not flashing back to that kind of history within the episode itself entirely. My mind isn't flashing back to that. I don't know. Yeah, because if May was with Gonzalez, if May was officially with Gonzalez on the lead Quinjet, then there's no reason that Bobby would have thought that she was with her, unless Bobby was on her own mission, or maybe, May kind of tricked her into going into their own little Quinjet, saying that, oh, we're going to follow up with them. We're going to follow up with them afterwards. But then they put it on autopilot and actually landed it onto the outside of Afterlife. So yeah, that's probably like a whole chunk of story I'm missing from my mind for whatever reason. But yeah, whatever happened, Kara managed to trick May, and her and Ward have taken Bobby prisoner. So we'll see exactly what their plans are for her once the next episode rolls around. Again, if you're on early access, then you get early access to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 21's reaction. So, yeah, that would be fun stuff. They handed Cal over. They handed him over, so they have him as a prisoner. And he took all the vials. He took all of his formula. Those vials, I'm pretty sure those were his formula. And, like, they were all empty. One of them had, like, a few drops left in it. But other than that, they were all empty. So he's taken vials upon vials of his own formula. He's given himself his strength. And you can see him starting to sweat and stuff towards the end of it. So I feel like he's going to take down that last plane full of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and then, keep them all trapped there and stuff, and, help them declare that first phase of war against S.H.I.E.L.D. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the next episode where this actually leads us. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have from this episode. Again, just, now, I think now we're cutting it so close to the finale. That's what makes me afraid. Like, we're a few episodes out, and we're already declaring war on S.H.I.E.L.D. So Season 3, I have a good feeling about what Season 3 might be. I have a good feeling about what Season 3 might be, if this is the way the story is headed. But yeah, that's going to be even tenser. That's going to be like a war between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans. If that's the story for Season 3, it's going to be even tenser, even more all-out. But yeah, we'll see. Let me know what you guys thought. Down in the comments of this episode and what you think a war between Inhuman and the Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. might be like. what you think of Jiaying's actions, what you think of all that stuff, what you think of Bobby and Bobby being captive under Warden and Cara Palamas. That's her name now, Cara Palamas. But yeah, and what you thought of the, I mean, you guys know what the Theta Protocol is, but let me know what you guys thought let me know what you guys thought of the Theta Protocol too, and what else you think could be under it. Because again, it wasn't just the Helicarrier; like he was moving stuff across the globe and stuff. So he was clearly building a base for enhanced being. So let me know what else you think the Theta Protocol could be. But yeah, early access again for next episode up on Patreon. So make sure you go check that out. But yeah, that is all I have from this one. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 20, Scars. So yeah, Scars. The differentiation between Scars. Differentiation. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The uncut reaction is available over on Patreon, so feel free to go check it out. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.